Hello, dear friends, and on behalf of the Mindalia.com team, welcome. Today, Juliana Klinkert is joining us to tell us about what to do when you cannot sleep. This is very useful information. So, let's talk a bit about her. Juliana Klinkert is a Colombian life coach and meditation teacher. She studied Buddhism in Nepal and Thailand. So now let's not delay these any further and let's say welcome to Juliana. Hello Juliana, how are you?
Hello Dalai, thank you so much. I am very good. I am very, very happy and honored not only with Mindalia TV, but with each person that is coming today to be with us.
It's a real pleasure for me sharing this space with you, and I'm sure we are helping a lot of people with the information you are giving us tonight. So thank you very much, and whenever you want, Juliana, you can start.
So as I was saying to each of you before to start sharing any of the information that I will be sharing with you today, I want to say one thing. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for those of you who decided to come to the live event. And thank you for those who are going to listen to us in a replay. When we come to these interviews, when we come to these programs, we come because we have something deep inside of us that wants to feel good. So I'm not going here to tell you what to do, but I'm going instead to share with you a little bit of my story. I'm going also to share with you those things that I had been learning through this path and that had helped me. And I'm going also to give you a little bit of food on how to practice through these moments. So when I was very, very little, I used to be super scared of clowns and snakes. I was always thinking that every night when I sleep, the clowns come out of the wall and the snakes were kind of in the windows. So I was unable to sleep. And my mother always told me, Juliana, as Dalai was telling to you, I am from Colombia, South America, and we have this thing that we need, or we are taught to count sheep, to count goats, until we are kind of tired of counting and counting and counting goats, and suddenly we fall asleep. But I will tell you that I ended up counting always until, I don't know, 10,000. And most of the time I was unable to fall asleep. Why I was unable to fall asleep? Because I was all the time thinking. And I was all the time following the fear of what is going to happen with this clown, the fear of what is going to happen with these snakes, that all of them were really created in my own mind. And I want to repeat this because all the time what was happening is that I was following the thoughts. And all these thoughts created a sensation of fear. So my mother said, okay, if you cannot count goats, maybe count teddy bears flying from one cloud to the other. But these things never worked. Even the hand of my sister trying to be there with me didn't work. So time goes on and on. The time passes, and every person was trying to give to me advices on how or what to do to sleep better. There were like endless lists of what to do when you cannot sleep. And all of those things were trying to go in the thoughts, how to change one thought for another thought. And I was unable. All the time, these things kept going and going and going on. Until one day, I had the opportunity to meet a teacher. And this teacher was telling me, okay, it's not about the thoughts. It's not about the thoughts. Because if you keep following a thought after a thought, you are only going to create more thoughts. And all the vibration of those thoughts are only giving stress and fear, anxiety, and are freezing your nervous system. And I was like, okay, so what can I do? And this teacher told me, you have to start coming back to the sensation of well-being. You have to start offering to yourself the sensation of well-being. He didn't tell me you have to change your thought for a positive thought. He told me you have to invite yourself. You have to offer to yourself, how does it feel, the sensation of well-being inside of you? How does it feel when your heart is maybe as soft as a flower? How does it feel when your blood might be running as a quiet river? How does it feel when your body is like a flexible tree? And I can go on and on with all these metaphors that bring us back to the sensation. And this is why I told you this is not a conference where I am going to fill your mind with a lot of things to do. Because actually, when we cannot sleep, we want to offer to our thoughts a different sensation, a sensation of well-being. Because again, following thoughts is going to bring us to have more thoughts. And we are so tired of thinking so much. We are not like a drive in a computer. We are not here to store information. We are here to enjoy this opportunity to be alive. We are here to enjoy the gift of having this human experience. So my invitation, it's always to go out from this space of thoughts. It's like too much troublesome. All these thoughts are always bringing us to be tired. And instead of following all those thoughts, bring yourself back to offer a sensation. But we always need someone who inspires us, because we cannot say out of the blue, okay, now I invite myself to feel good, to recover the sensation of well-being, because then we are again thinking. We need to have examples in our life. We need to make choices that allow us to give birth to this sensation. So we need to choose friends We need to choose communities. We need to choose environments that allow us to have more space. Otherwise, we will continue ending in that infernal process of thinking. This infernal process of thinking that is always going to have us stuck in that place of, I want to do this. I wish to do this. I know I have to do this. But there is a big difference between knowing, between wanting, between wishing to do something and actually crossing the bridge to start doing the things. So this is what happened in many of the positive thoughts. We are invited to have a wish, but we are lacking the opportunity to cross the bridge to start doing. And each of us who is connected today in this life, or who will watch the replay, is here because you might be ready to move from that state of wanting to that state of doing. So because we are there, we need to push ourselves to really compromise ourselves, to offer the opportunity to feed the sensation of well-being. And many times during this process of trying to feed this sensation of well-being inside of us, the thoughts are going to try to enter and bring us back to that place of wishing. And this is why it's absolutely important that we find friends, that we find communities, that we find spaces, that we find these conferences. Because like that we feel a company. Like that we feel that, okay, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to offer to myself this opportunity. I'm not here anymore to be the follower of my own thoughts. And that's very important. And I want to offer to each of you who is connected at this moment that during 3 minutes, we do a very simple exercise that can allow us to discover this sensation of well-being. I'm going to close my eyes during these 3 minutes, not more than 3 minutes. But if you wish to keep your eyes open, please go ahead and keep your eyes open. I will be guiding you through this short meditation. So let's close our eyes if we wish. And let's take a long exhalation. And let's feel that in our heart there is a sunflower. This sunflower is the most soft, beautiful sunflower that we had ever seen. And we can see that as a sunflower, we are facing the sun because we wish to receive all the clarity of the sun. So as a sunflower, we observe the clarity of the sun and we breathe in all this clarity in our heart. We keep this clarity and we exhale, expanding this clarity in every cell of our body. And we can continue to observe this sunflower in our heart. And if we have the eyes closed, we can slowly open our eyes and find ourselves through this screen, blooming in our heart, all the kindness, all the beauty of this sunflower. And we want to teach, to offer to ourselves these sensations during many moments of the day. When I was starting to teach to myself, or more than to teach to myself, when I was starting to offer to myself the opportunity to feel the well-being inside of me, I use moments of the day where I felt at peace, moments of the day where I felt that it was possible to discover the peace in my heart. And little by little in the night, I try. And at the beginning, I try to start to offer this peace that I felt in the heart to those clowns that I was scared of when I was little. Also to the snakes that I imagined that were in the windows. And the more I offer this well-being sensation to those fears that were paralyzing me, the better I started to sleep. And this is a very simple and probably easy way of sharing a story. I am not here trying to tell you that this will work immediately. I'm not here telling to you that this is the only way. And many of us who have problems to sleep may have many different causes. It can be something from a trauma when we were little, or something that recently happened. Many situations can bring us to not sleep. But there is one thing before to understand or to try to see which is causing you to not sleep, and is that we can all offer to ourselves that beautiful sensation of well-being. Because the more we start to offer to ourselves the sensation of well-being, and we keep it deeply rooted inside of us, the more we learn how to choose the activities that we do during the day, the better we choose which friends are we deciding to meet. When we offer to ourselves the sensation of well-being, we look for activities that help us to replicate that sensation. So it's very important that everything goes hand by hand. Offer to yourself as many minutes of the day as you can those sensations of well-being, and start by the moments during your day where you feel okay, where you feel there is not too many emotions on me at this moment. Little by little, bring these sensations of well-being to your night and offer these sensations of well-being to what is scaring you or giving you fear and anxiety and keeping you awake. And the more we do this, the more we are also going to start choosing different situations, different activities, probably different friends, because all that happens in the night is the mirror of what happens during the day. So if you have a very busy day, doing many things, talking about many things for nothing, then your mind is going to come to the resting period very agitated. So try to choose that whenever you have a busy day, don't talk too much for nothing. Words are a resonance to our body. So the things that we are speaking create this resonance inside our body. So we better also choose those things that we talk, those things that we speak, those things that we watch or see on TV, those things that we read. And those are like the normal and usual things that we listen everywhere. But remember that the more agitated our mind is, the more stress, the more thoughts we are going to bring to our mind. And instead of following those thoughts, we want to follow and invite our heart to discover that sensation of well-being. And I had been speaking to all of you for a little bit, but I really wish to feel you. I really wish to listen to you as well. So Dalai from Mindalia is here with us. She will share any of your questions, and I will be happy to try to offer my best to you.
Juliana, as I told you before, sometimes it's very difficult for me to sleep. So this information was very, very useful for me. Thank you very much for sharing your knowledge with us. And now, if you agree, let's introduce some questions from the people watching us. We are starting with one from Carl, who is in England, and says, please give us some exercise to relax our bodies and minds before we go to bed. I have not rested for months, and that causes me to be always on the defensive and in a bad mood.
I understand, Carl, and thank you so much for having that courage to share with us. During this live we did, 3 minutes of a very simple exercise where we feel that our heart was as soft and as beautiful and as a sunflower. When we touch the petals of the sunflower, they are very soft. These sensations are sensations that we can start bringing to ourselves during the day. Choose moments of the day, maybe when you are drinking your tea or your coffee in the morning. You drink this tea, discovering the softness in your heart. Little by little, bring these sensations to you. Little by little, choose people around you who bring the most kind thing that resides in your heart. And I really, really hope that these sunflower blooms in your heart, because I really know how difficult it is to be awakened for so many nights. All our mood is totally destroyed. Thank you so much, Carl.
Let's continue with more questions. Juliana, we've got one from Ponce from Facebook, and he or she is in the USA. My kid is 15 but snores a lot. How can I help him?
I'm not an expert on snoring. I have no idea how to reply to this, but I have seen there are pillows that help to organize the curve of the neck. This may help. There are also things that people can use for the nose that can help. So medicine had already did a long research on the snoring path, and also little by little try to bring him to spaces where he can expand the capacity of his lungs and he can breathe more smooth.
Thank you very much, Juliana. I'm telling you another question from the USA as well. Lily asks, and what happens when you have different types of nightmares night after night? How to control it?
Hello, Lily. And dreams, nightmares, it's very difficult to try to just give one answer to this, because nightmares may come from a fear that it's blooming from a particular situation that you just lived, fears of something in the past, fears of something when you were little. So these nightmares are very, very difficult to just say, this is why you are having nightmares. But one thing that definitely I wish to share with all of us, the important thing is not the cause as it was happening to me at the beginning. The most important is not what is causing me to not sleep or what is causing my fear. The most important is to offer to myself the opportunity to remember how does it feels, the well-being sensation inside of us. And the more we offer to ourselves these things, the more we are going to create new neural pathways in our brain, and the better we will feel, because more serotonin our brain will receive and less cortisol we will have. So we exchange also the stress for a well-being sensation.
We've got more questions. Let's read one from Justin from Scotland. He says, is there any recommended food to help us falling asleep before going to bed? That's a very good question. Or some drink, maybe?
Mm-hmm. This is all very good. I'm very open to those things. I will say at the beginning I was very strict. And food is medicine. So of course we need to really pay attention of the food. But again, every single human being is not a mathematical formula. Every single human being have different things that helps to feel better. But it's definitely something that has helped me a lot is to have either no dinner or a light dinner before to sleep. Because I feel that when I go very full to sleep, my mind is trying to do too many things at the same time. So definitely food is medicine. Try to choose things that are the most natural possible. Try to choose, if you eat meat, try to choose meat from animals that are killed or grass-fed in the most kind way. I mean, there is no kind way in killing, but try to choose the best you can, the medicine that you ingest. And when I say medicine, is the food. So I'm not a nutritionist. I have no idea if there is a particular tea or not. But from my experience, I had noticed that when I don't eat at night and I do not eat at night, I do sleep better. But if I, for some reason, decided to commit the mistake of eating at night, it takes me hours before to be able to sleep because my mind is super distracted trying to digest all the thing that I just ate.
Chloe from Argentina says, what do you think about taking sleeping pills every night? And how do you think we can leave them and overcome the dependency?
Mm-hmm. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. So I have not a specific answer to this. I do think that if your doctor brings you the opportunity to have this medicine, you should try to talk to the doctor how to take this medicine in the most safe way possible to you and in the less amount of dosage that you can, so you are not going to become dependent on this. And at the same time, when you take these pills, try to do many different exercises that will help you to recover the sensation of well-being, because they can go hand by hand. It's not that we take all in one side and we leave the other thing. If there is the necessity of taking pills, we should talk to our doctor. We should have this conversation with our doctor and have a good relation with our doctor. And at the same time, work in your own development of offering that sensation of well-being.
You mean it's all about having a balanced, isn't it, Juliana? I mean, a balance between maybe medicine and feeling great and feeling happy?
I do think, and it's something that you are saying, Dalai, is very important, because then we love extremes in this part of the world. So we say, or I am depressed, or I am happy. But the opposite of depression is not happiness. The opposite of depression is that longing to rediscover the beauty in the beautiful little details of the life, to be amazed, to be like a little kid, like we say, wow, wow, I opened my eyes today. Wow, I have food. Wow, I have a bed. Wow, I have somebody to say hello to today. So it's not about extremes. It's not I am this or I am that. It's how I embrace all these ideas of being human and I start to live. Because many times we are just like zombies in an automatic button going in this world. And we think that we have the eyes open, but our soul is totally closed. And then we go to sleep and we think that our eyes are closed and our soul is also totally closed. So we need to have eyes open, soul open, both. Not extremes. Extremes brings us nowhere. It's like only thoughts. What is the reason of only thinking? Because many thoughts will bring us to more thoughts. And again, the invitation through all this program is to go back as well to that sensation of well-being, to feel, for example, that flower blooming in our heart, to feel that maybe we are as flexible as a tree, or to feel that the blood that is running through our veins, it's like the soft river that is running smoothly.
Let's continue, Juliana. Thanks a lot for your answer. With another question, Carla Cervera. We've got a Spanish question. So what I'm doing is reading it in Spanish for the Spanish people who is accompanying us.
Perfect.
And after that, I'm translating it to English, okay?
Sounds good.
Carla Cervera desde México dice: ¿Cómo calmar el sentimiento que queda después de haber tenido un sueño tan vívido que pareciera que estuviste realmente ahí? In English now, how to calm that feeling that remains after having a dream or nightmare so vivid that it seems you were really there?
This is a very interesting question, and many times those dreams almost like stand up us from the bed or from any surface that we were sleeping, and we are like almost out of breath. And again, the sensation. We are thinking too much in this world, and this process of thinking is only bringing us to think more. And when we wake up from this difficult dream, we are almost out of breath. So we need to recover the breath. Our body feels very tense, so we need to relax our body. And then our mind. We need to be the most kind with our mind, because the same mind that was having that dream is the mind that is able to offer a flower to this dream. So it's not that our mind is different during this time or that time. It's the continuum of the mind. And how do we work with a lot of flexibility with this mind? Offer to those dreams a flower and allow the flower to give some color. We need to be very poetic with these sensations, because when we enter in that poetry, suddenly we like expand ourselves from the idea of I am this year, I don't know, I'm X years old, so I need to be super serious, and I am this and I am that. And we kind of label ourselves in a position. And that position is just a label that you are giving to yourself. And at the same time, instead of labeling yourself, then offer to yourself the possibility of feeling. We are too much numbed by thinking all the time. We forget how is it to feel. This is what we need to be trained on. Not to feel emotions, but to feel how does it feels. Softness, kindness in our heart, in our cells, in our blood, in our brain as well.
Juliana, we've got just 2 minutes left. So we are finishing with one last question from Cynthia. She is Spanish as well, and she says, how to help our children to go through that process. It's a shame that from such a young age they feel frustrated when they have to go to bed.
Yes, and I will say I was also in that case. I was very, very scared every single time that the night appears. As I was telling you at the beginning, when I was little, I felt that out of the walls, clowns appear, and I was super scared of these clowns. Snakes appear from the windows, and I was super scared. And this only went away when I found a teacher who teach me how to feel good. Even if this person was not able to take my hand or to give me a hug, gave me the opportunity to recover the sensation of well-being. So the more loving, the more kind, the more tenderness you can offer to your kid before to bed, by telling stories, by being very poetic to your kid. Because like this, your kids will start developing this new idea of it is safe and I have enough to offer to my dreams as well. Love, kindness.
Well, Juliana, we have no more time. Thank you very much. I want you to feel really happy with this conference. So let me tell you about the people who has been watching us tonight. Well, tonight or this afternoon or this morning. It depends on the part of the world where you are. They joined us from Mexico, Argentina, the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, Spain, Scotland, or Colombia. So, of course, I'm giving you some seconds to say goodbye, or you've got the time you need if you want to share with us some final thoughts.
More than final thoughts, I really, really, really wish for you that you can try to find the tenderness that resides in your heart. We are all here connected from many, many different parts of the world. We are here speaking in English. Even English is not our main native language, or at least for me, Dalai for Dalai as well. So it's such an honor to be able to communicate through the words, but also to be able to communicate by the sensation. Because every time you try to discover that tenderness, that soft flower that is blooming inside of you, you will be connected again in this session, in this class, in this workshop, however we want to call it. So thank you so much to each of you. And thank you to Mindalia as well to the live for creating all this space for all of us, and even for YouTube to create for us all this platform to be connected from all over the world.
Thank you, Juliana, as I said before, for sharing all this important information with us, for sharing your soul with us, for having your soul opened for the world. And of course, to you, dear friends of Mindalia, thanks a lot for sharing this space with us. We want to remind you that you can enjoy all our content in Mindalia Radio, 24 hours of conscious information. And you can find that in our website, www.mindaliaradio.com. Before saying goodbye, we also want to remind you that Mindalia.com is an international non-profit organization, and you can collaborate with us by liking our content, leaving us a positive comment, subscribing to our channel or different platforms, and of course sharing this video with someone else. At last, at the end, you can donate through a link you will find in our website, www.mindalia.com, and by doing so, you help us to keep creating more content like the one you've seen with us tonight. So, having said that and feeling really grateful, I'm prepared to say goodbye for now until a next Mindalia live streaming. Thank you very much, Juliana. Thank you very much, dear friends, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.